Konnichiwa, my fellow Nihonjin.
Hello, we are back at IHOP.
This has been a long time coming. We haven't recorded a podcast in months. So much has changed. My entire life has changed since the last podcast.
Changed as well.
We made drastic life decisions that have changed the course of our lives since the last podcast. So I think it's important to talk about that.
I'm about to make another one. I'm about to eat a piece of chicken.
I'm about to eat a piece of toast.
Oh, so good.
There's no butter on this toast.
What? You didn't get butter?
No, it's supposed to be well done. You know what?
What? You want?
No.
You want
are you going to use it?
No.
Then I'll take it if you're not going to use it.
Take it.
I'll take it with a spoon.
You want me to just pick it up?
I'll see.
Yeah.
Alberta pasta tongue.
You
Great
take that
bottom
butter.
line. So, although we are both sitting in an IHOP in South Florida, that doesn't reflect the living situation of either of us anymore. Really, I guess it reflects your situation. Yeah. In the time since the last vlog, I decided to move to a different state. I moved to New York. I applied for and got a job, and I've been working at that job full time for over a month in the time since the last podcast. You were living in Boston. Yeah, well, you'll tell it.
I have dropped out of school, applied to another school, gotten in, already scheduled to move there, and I have living arrangements. I'm going to move there for a totally different major because my current major is so awful. So now I'm going to school for a totally different reason. And
you're going to school essentially just to get a degree.
Yes, 100%. There's no other reason.
Meanwhile, you know, I still have nightmares about school pretty regularly. The concept, I just had. I gotta tell you about this dream. I never told you. My nightmare was that I missed my final in my class, and I was panicking. I was like, "Oh my god!" So I'm like, I have to beg the professor. My professor, Jesse Wood.
I feel like Jesse Wood would understand if you missed the final.
He destroyed me.
What?
He was screaming at me.
He would hate the institution of school and the idea of finals being scheduled or you missed. He would give you a break.
No, not in the dream.
That's BS. That's not real.
It was a dream. What do you expect?
But Jesse's benevolent. He's not malevolent. He's a kind man.
So.
Everyone has the wrong idea.
So.
I want to be fun.
Yeah, I'm down in Silflo this weekend because it's Mother's Day weekend, and I came down to surprise my mom.
Was she surprised, by the way?
She was very surprised. My dad tells her at 9:30 on Friday night, he says he's going to meet a client. My mom thought he was cheating. So he goes 6 wait. So I'm silent, walking up with him, and we're walking into the room, and I walk into the room, and I start laughing because it's pitch black. And she's like, well, she thought it was my dad. She's like, why are you laughing? And I'm like, look who it is. But it's pitch black and you can't see. And we can't find the lights won't turn on. We can't find the ditch. So eventually I turned on the lights, and she was freaking out because she was sleeping. Woke up and saw me. And she was freaking out. Yeah.
It's Josh.
So I'm in just for these 2 days, and then I immediately go back to my full-time job that I've been working for the past month. I'm not going to say where exactly. I work at a synagogue in New York City.
I'll say where.
No, don't say where I work.
I will.
Do you know where I work?
Yeah, I know where you work.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, so I work at a synagogue in New York City. It's
Do you want to challenge me?
Don't. Shut the fuck up, Zach. Shut up. I'm trying to tell a story. So it's a pretty good job. I obviously I don't enjoy the whole concept of going into work every day, but I enjoy it. It's not bad. It's easy work. I essentially just deal with all the stuff that goes on their website. It's pretty easy. Everyone's super cool and chill and nice, and I feel like I'm getting along with them well, and it's pretty nice.
I agree with the sentiment, where I was like, when I worked, I did not like the concept of going to work, but I liked, as far as the concept of working every day, of working a day job, I liked my work as much as I could. Because the people were great, and
that's exactly what I mean. The people are great, and the work's easy, so it's fine. Yeah, and
100% agree.
And I get paid, so it's nice. And right now I don't have to pay rent, but that's I'm looking to get an apartment soon, so that will change that. Right now I'm staying with family.
How is that? How's your living arrangement
so far
I've
been living alone because my family's been in Florida, but tomorrow they go back up.
Oh no!
So now it's gonna be the thing. So far I've been living alone. I've been living alone in a house to myself for the past 2 months, and that's all about to change.
Man, living with family is so jarring after having lived alone. It's so weird. I went from...
It's like you make decisions for yourself. I'm gonna go to Wawa in the morning. If you do that, you essentially get lectured for doing it. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Because it's not the decision they would make.
Yeah, but on the plus side,
you don't have to pay rent.
You don't have to pay rent, and they...
Free food.
Yes, they buy you food. Very nice. However, you get lectured for doing things that are totally normal.
Yeah, in college, if I went to CVS in the morning, it'd be normal.
Yep.
But yeah, I never have to go to school again. It's so weird.
Oh man, I wish.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that around
you.
But
it's been tough.
But yeah, you know what? It'll be better. You're going to UCF now. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to UCF now, which is where Alberto goes. So you're going to see Alberto and Jen a lot more.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to miss my friends back in Boston, but it's all cool.
Don't worry. I'm now in the Northeast, so now I'm taking your place as the Northeast member of the Vlog Squad.
So now you can go see them.
Yeah.
I was so sad. I was like, I had to tell my friends. I was like, oh, I'm moving away. And he's like, oh, I'm also moving. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, I'm moving to Japan.
Who?
Huh? My friend Wolfman.
So I think we have not talked about Arm Retrieval Con. This was months ago. No, it was 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Arm Retrieval Con was probably one of the best days of my life.
It was a great time.
Yes.
Very stressful, very fun.
It was stressful?
For me.
Well, you have to plan it. Didn't you plan it?
No.
Why was it stressful for you?
Arm Retrieval Con is always a very stressful, very hectic, but memory-filled time.
See, I had a completely different perspective because I don't know how it was stressful. To me, it was super relaxing. Oh, I guess you were communicating with them.
Yeah, I was the person who was
I was just doing whatever you told me to do. You're like, well, we'll go in here. I'm like, okay.
I'm again, so when Arm Retrieval Con, as far as I know, is over. There were 3, and it's done.
It was too big. It got too big.
It was too big to fail, and it failed. So, if you don't know the story of Arm Retrieval Con 1 happened as a joke. Where when Munchie and Kazi met up, they had this podcast called Arm Retrieval. And they said whenever they met up, it was called Arm Retrieval Con. And so they posted on Twitter, this is Arm Retrieval Con. And I was in the area later into the day, and so I showed up. And then the next one, I also showed up, but also one other person showed up. It was Azcan, or Albert. He actually flew up from Florida. And then
for Arm Retrieval Con?
For Arm Retrieval Con 2. And then Arm Retrieval Con 3, so many people.
You need anything? Are we alright?
Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, thank you. And then Arm Retrieval Con 3, we, how many people were there? 16?
There was a lot of people, but I think as the day progressed, it got less and less, and I think I think by the end of the day, it was a manageable amount. I think in the beginning, it was way too many.
So many people ended up at Arm Retrieval Con 3, it was absurd.
Yeah, I think, but I noticed as the day, like, people trickled out as the day progressed, and by the end, I think it was a good amount of people, like a perfect size.
But it was like, it went from like...
It wasn't the same premise anymore.
It went from 1 attendant to 2 attendant to 12 attendants.
It went from what it was to like essentially a PCP fan meetup, which wasn't the point at all. But it was still, like I say, I like shit on it right now, but it was one of the best days of my life, I'd say.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I had a great time. It was really surreal to just be like chilling with like people I've been watching on YouTube for years, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The thing about Arm Retrieval Con is when Arm Retrieval Con like 3 happened, like other people hear about it through Twitter. I get notified about planning because it's like, hey, we want to have Arm Retrieval Con. When will you be around?
Yeah, it's like because you're like the event organizer.
I'm the event planner here. So I have to like do things. I didn't do much for 3 because it was all like, it was just like whatever weekend I was free, and also after RadCon. But we scheduled.
What happens at RadCon stays at RadCon. RadCon 3. Watery advice. Great video. Watery advice. Great video. It's true though. Showers always make you feel better.
Showers, yes, they do.
He's right. Like they do. Every time you're like, I don't know if I want to shower. It always makes you feel better.
I agree. Sometimes it's a quick shower. Sometimes you just need to like marinate in the shower. Yeah. You gotta like lay down, like let the water flow.
Yeah. But
Take your time.
So, Arm Retrieval Con 3 was great. I mean, are we gonna tell some stories? Like we met the story where we had to go, where we were leaving the bathroom and then we just saw
we caused to hold up,
walking around with a suitcase. We're calling their names and they didn't hear us. I think we were like too timid about calling them. Like we're like,
I didn't want to like make a disturbance.
I didn't want to go Nate. But so we were the ones that retrieved. We retrieved Nate.
And then they were going to the right place. Yeah. By the way, we just stopped them from going to the right place.
Nate Bestman and Ben Saint themselves, 2 fine-looking brothers.
Of course.
Yeah.
2 of the finest.
2 of the finest-looking brothers. 2 of the top premier, upper echelon, and we retrieved them for Arm Retrieval, and
that was 4 of the arms.
Yeah, we got them. We met Hippo, who is
a great
exactly
man.
How I imagined him being.
Kind man.
It was great. I hugged Hippo. That's a thing I did. It's weird watching this video. I'm like, oh yeah, I hugged this guy. But it was great. I saved the worm shirt. You've probably all seen Arm Retrieval Con the movie, but the worm shirt
from
was SuperCon 2014.
Die.
We were going to burn this shirt at Arm Retrieval Con. That was the plan.
But the worm was redeemed.
But I'm like, what I did is I did like a shock value thing where I had it on all day under my clothes, and then as soon as the podcast started and they got to the point where they introduced me, I ripped off my shirt and revealed the worm under it. It's super tight, and then 10 minutes in I realized how uncomfortable this shirt actually is because it's so tight. It's like a child large.
Day.
So I took it off and put on my regular shirt. Then it was sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get everyone that's still here, which was essentially like the cool kids. I got them all to sign it, and now it's hanging up on my basement wall in my grandparents' house.
Cool kids who stuck around to the end, which was like me, you, the PCP.
Well, no,
Ben and
Nate left.
Well, they had a flight.
Yeah, they had a flight. Ben's story that day, he just ruined the day for himself.
He missed the entire thing.
He shows up with this giant suitcase, like that's like almost the size of his whole body, and he's like looking around. So then he went to drop it off at the hotel. By the time he got back, he didn't have time. He needed to. By the time he got back, right, he needed to go back and pick it up again, right? And his whole song, we tried going to a YMCA, and like they wouldn't let him do it.
No, they did let him do it.
But it was too small, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
He
you.
he went to a Gold's Gym. So what had happened was he, instead of going to the hotel to put his bag away, he went to a Gold's Gym and tried to store.
Why would he do that?
Because he's homeless. He's homeless, and it did work. It did indeed work, but it didn't fit in the locker. So he had to leave and then go to the hotel, which wasted like an hour. And then he got to the hotel, dropped it off, came back, and then wait, he like got back, was there for like a minute, and then had to leave and get his bag again to bring to Kazi's.
He was there for like 10 minutes because we were going to Kazi's and to record, and he wanted to come, but then he realized he couldn't come, right? Because he was going to miss his flight.
He had to get the bag.
It was a good thing he didn't come, because by the time we started recording, he was on the plane.
Yeah,
like, imagine if he came, like... We called him from he was like before the plane took off, right? He was on the cast.
Yeah, he was on the plane, right?
This is coffee, not cream,
yeah, that's
right?
coffee.
Okay.
He was literally on the plane. We had him call in.
Yeah.
Poor Ben.
By the way, all of this material, all of the live streams and the virtual panel can be found in the vlog supplementary materials playlist.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I found out partway through the panel why the stream was dying.
Why was it?
And
you never told anyone?
I fixed it.
Is this deep lore? What was it?
But you'll notice halfway through the panel, it suddenly fixes itself. It's because I fixed it.
What was it?
It
what
was
the
the
problem?
virtual art gallery. It was the chroma key on the entire screen that was killing it. It was trying to do this like incredible munchy effect on the entire panel, just killing this laptop that we were running the whole thing on.
It was Hippo's laptop, right?
Yeah. Just murdering it. As soon as I took it off,
I love the way they described it in the bonus episode that we're talking about Chicago. They described Hippo's laptop as the stream bitch. They used it for all their live streams.
Yeah. I made it my bitch. It was there was such a great panel.
I've had so much hot black coffee today. Like,
I'm gonna be up all night.
I went to breakfast at Flakewitz this morning with my mom and my dad, and I had a hot black coffee, a couple of cups. After dinner, I had a giant ass cup of hot black coffee at this nice restaurant. It was really good coffee. Now we're at IHOP and I'm drinking coffee again.
Nice.
If I'm up late enough, I think I'm just gonna go. My dad's taking my grandparents to the airport at like 5 a.m.
I have a Mother's Day thing tomorrow morning.
I have all day Mother's Day shit.
You're fucked.
Well, I have to wake up at my goal, what I'm trying to do is I may stay up all night.
I'm gonna go for
because I have to wake up at 4 something tomorrow morning. I mean Monday morning to get to the plane to go into work in New York. Listen to this plan. So I'm flying in at my flight leaves at 6 a.m. or 6 something. I'm going from LaGuardia straight into work so I can still get paid on Monday.
Oh my god.
I likely could have taken off, but I want a money.
You want a money?
Okay, I would have just gone home and slept? Why wouldn't I just go into work for the rest of the day and get the money for that day?
And just sleep there.
Not sleep there.
That is something one of my coworkers would have done. I'm not gonna say who, but he knows who he is. He would have not taken off for work. Come in 2 hours late.
That's what I'm doing.
Stayed 2 hours late.
That's exactly
slept the whole day.
I wouldn't have slept at work, but that's exactly what I'm doing. Literally what I'm doing.
I love you.
Because I'm an idiot.
I love you, man.
But yeah.
One love, one peace. He's also Jewish.
L'chaim. Part of the Brotherhood. What else was I gonna say? Well, that brings us to the end of IHOPcast, which was 2 months ago. However, something happened. Something got triggered at the end of IHOPcast.
It was basically It was the swine flu.
Me, Zach, and Munchie, we didn't communicate with each other, but we all got so sick for the entire next week. It was
I think more people also got sick.
What happened?
It was John flu.
So let me tell you, that was probably one of the...
posting this as soon as we're done with this. I'm posting this like in the arm retrieval chat. I'm gonna say, did anyone else get John flu? But spelling it
was John flu.
You remember the bird retrieval episode?
Bird flu.
Yeah, that was called. At the end, it was John flew because he flew away. John flew, FLU.
Amazing. But yeah, so I got like the most sick I was in, probably the most sick I can remember ever being.
I don't think I've ever. Well, probably the second most sick I've ever.
It was the point where I probably shouldn't have gone to the hospital. I probably didn't need to, but it was the point where I'm like, I've never felt this bad. I should probably go to the hospital. Biggest mistake of my life. That was one of the well, if some, okay.
You had the cold.
How I had to look at it is, if something was really wrong, it would have been worth going.
Gosh, you caught a cold.
You act like it's so nonchalant, but you act like, oh, it was just a common cold.
I had the same thing.
I've never felt this bad in my entire life. Like I've had colds all the time. I get sick every 2 weeks, Zach. I know what a cold is. This was so much worse than my normal sick. Being sick.
I was miserable too, but I didn't go to the hospital.
Okay. But, okay. So, you're acting like I'm abnormal when I feel like I'm dying going to a doctor. You're acting like that's abnormal.
I mean, what you got there and they said, yeah, you have...
No, I got there
and... viral.
I got there and after 9 hours.
You sat there for 9 hours?
I was in the hospital for 9 hours. You know what? I've never told you the full story of this day.
Oh, God.
So, I go in. This homeless man is fighting the person at the reception desk. Eventually he gets... So I get in and they're like, okay, we're gonna... So they're checking everything. They're like doing the normal tests and everything. I was there like normal, like 45 minutes maybe. And I thought I was gonna get to go. I was like, oh, like we're doing a normal test. Then they come to me, they're like, your heart rate is abnormally high. And I'm like, what the... That's not why I'm here. Like, what the fuck? They're like, we can't let you leave. Your heart rate is too high. We can't consciously let you leave right now. We have to run tests and do stuff. So I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? So they lie me down in this room, and they also said I was severely dehydrated, which is probably right because I didn't drink any water that day yet. So
you were sick.
Yeah, I woke up and went there. Like I didn't do anything. So they put me in the the IV drip.
Yeah.
And
which probably helped. But...
It did. It made me feel a little bit better. But let's just they would check on me periodically and everything. And they wouldn't tell me what was wrong, and they kept on doing all these weird tests, and they would wheel me into different places at the hospital to do different tests, and then wheel me back, and that took hours. You know what I mean? Just to be able to,
yeah.
But
do you have your phone?
I did, but I was so out of it that it was just the entire day I was in a haze, in and out of sleep the whole day.
Jesus. Did you not have coffee in the morning?
No, I didn't have anything. I was just so sick. Yeah. So
I would do the same.
I was in a haze, just out of sleep. But the funniest and scariest story comes... So I was hooked up into these things, but I was in a position where there was a nurse would come every hour and a half or so, and there was no one to call. There was no way to call a nurse. I had no access to that. They didn't give it a... So if anything was wrong, I just couldn't... I would have to just yell until someone came. But nothing was wrong. But so I asked them, I'm like, you're hooking me up to a bunch of liquids. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom a million times. I'm like, how would I get your attention so you can unhook me so I can go to the bathroom? And they're like, you can go yourself as long as you carry the thing. I'm like, okay, they must be right. They know what they're doing, right? I lost so much blood.
What?
I get up to go to the bathroom, and I'm carrying the bag, and all of a sudden the entire bag immediately fills with a ton of blood. And I'm like, well, I don't feel anything. and I see it happening, but I don't feel anything. So I guess I'm gonna finish peeing and then go outside. So I'm like walking out into the hall, and then someone came over like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I'm like, a nurse told me that I could get up and go myself to the bathroom and carry this, and they're like, "No, you can't. You have to have someone come in and hook you. You can't do that." And I'm like, "What?" They're like, "What was the nurse's name?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And they're like, "What did she look like?" I'm like, "She had brown hair and glasses." Like, that's half the nurses here. So this nurse was never to be seen for the rest of the day. Don't know what happened.
She wasn't a nurse.
Okay, so after 9 hours of different tests, they eventually let me go, and they were like, they gave me medicine, which did help. It wasn't like curing medicine; it was just symptom relief medicine, which was really good. Because they gave me like a nausea medicine and a throat medicine, which every time I took it, it felt great because I felt like I was gonna throw up all day, and I really. Yeah. So I just lied in bed for like an entire week, and I eventually got better. Like, that's it. I just lied there for a week. That's all I did.
Yep, I'm saying.
And yeah, it was one of the best days of my life. Immediately, like, followed by one of the worst days of my life. I did it to myself because I shouldn't have gone. Like, looking back, I shouldn't have gone, but you could never know at the time.
Did you go the day after?
No, the day after was when I took the bus back. And then I had another full day where that day I felt nothing, but I was coughing all day. And I was like, why am I coughing?
The cough after after the John flu.
You had the cough after? Or I had it before.
The cough lasted until I got to Florida and still is like...
That's crazy.
It was like, the cough was like 2 months.
Yeah, so I had the cough the first day, and I was coughing up to this and I'm like, why am I coughing? I don't feel anything else. What's wrong? I woke up in the middle of the night that night, and I was like, I've never felt this bad before. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, this is insane. Like, I could barely walk without almost falling over.
Oh my god.
The walk I was staying at my grandparents' apartment. The walk from the apartment to the hospital, what was like an ER? It was like a 10-minute walk. That felt like an eternity.
Oh my god.
I thought I was gonna fall over. Like I was like trying to.
That's like I've done like migraine walks through New York. Oh god.
So long story short, like that was a terrible day. They gave me medicine, made me feel better. I lied in bed for a week. It was fine. Didn't know until Munchie uploaded fever reviews. Ready Player One. He just went to the theater and saw Ready Player One with an over 100-degree fever, feeling exactly like we did. He saw Ready Player One and did a review.
I'm asking right now if anyone else got John flu after Arm Retrieval.
Okay. So this was so bad. But yeah, that was what happened after that. And then was it the week after that? Yeah, I think it was the next week I started my job. And I've been working ever since. Yeah, I mean, I described the job already, so that gives you the deal. I do essentially all the website stuff for my synagogue. What are you looking at me?
Sweet. Huh?
What are you looking at me like that? What are you doing?
You ever been to Walmart?
Oh, God. But,
I'm just wondering, you know. Just wanted to know.
Ray William Johnson...
Not a kind man.
You know how Arya in Game of Thrones has that kill list? Like every night she lies down and she's like
Ray William Johnson.
Like she says the names of all the people she plans on killing. Like she's like Cersei, Joffrey, the Hound, whatever. My list is Cipritan, Cersei Lannister, same one, and Ray William Johnson because he violently approached me and asked me if I've ever been to Walmart. Okay, what else has happened since then? I went to a shitty con in New York City, Big Apple Comic Con. It was pretty bad. It was a little surreal because every booth was selling one of two things.
Pop figures.
It was either overpriced pop figures or comics.
There was no like anime stuff. It was just all
zero. It was all comics. It was Big Apple Comic Con, all comics, which was weird because it wasn't like a normal show floor. It was like I don't know how to describe it. It was in a building. I'll wait.
How do you spell John Egbert? Is it John?
I think so. I don't remember. It's been a couple years.
Then did anyone else get John Flew?
Yeah.
Through Arm Retrieval Con 3.
Yes.
There. More people see it there.
So I was at this con and it was really weird. I don't know how to describe the layout other than it wasn't coherent, if that makes sense. It wasn't a show floor. It was like a maze. Like there were like different corridors that you can go down with booths and like different things. There'd be dead ends, weird turns, things that connect to things that you didn't realize and everything. It was like a maze, but it was all comics and expensive pop figures. I bought like one Gwenpool comic that I was looking for, like a rare Gwenpool comic. That was it. But I'm walking and I see he wasn't on the guest list. I'm walking and I just see Ming Chen from Comic Book Men just sitting there, no line. He's just sitting there chilling, and I'm like,
you just walked up.
That's Ming Chen from Comic Book. And I walked up and I'm like, hey, what's up? He was charging, and I don't know if it was the combination of me like forgetting to pay or he just forgot to get money from me because no one was coming to his booth. Like, I guess he probably had to put up the charging thing and just forgot about it. I took a picture with him and talked to him for a couple of minutes. He didn't charge me. He was supposed to charge me for it.
He had no line.
Yeah.
You know, like
he didn't try to. He was a super cool guy. He's the exact same person as he is on the show because it's a reality show.
Free photo.
Yeah, a free photo with Ming Chen for Comic Book Man. That was pretty cool. So it made it worth it, I guess. Then I went to Book Off. I've gone to Book Off a couple of times. It's been pretty good. I got a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
I want to open a booth that sells pop figures, and I'll dress up like the Chad character with the what's the shirt say? Bang, I think. You know, like the pink shirt that says Bang.
I've talked about this on the podcast before, definitely, right? The Chad pop figure vendors, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be like, it'll be called like the Chad's pop figures, and I'll just yell it. I'll be like, yo, virgin, buy my pop figure. It's only $35. It's a limited edition Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. Get him all started.
I think the saddest thing about this whole thing is that people are actually pressured into buying them. Like, people actually do it. They have such weak wills that they actually buy these. My last pop figure purchase, it was at that same event. It was Tate's Park and Sweat. You know what I did? I got 2 pop figures. I got Scott Pilgrim and Ramona Flowers. You know how much I paid for each? $2. I paid $2 for each.
Remember when you got shut down? When you messaged me something, you're like, look how bad these are. And I said, you buy pop figures.
Those looked so much, I don't remember what they were, but I remember that they looked so much worse than pop figures.
They look just as bad as pop figures.
Worse.
Or better. They do not look worse.
Is this the song? This is the song from Pineapple Express.
I haven't seen Pineapple.
Pretty relevant song for an IHOP. Gotta get down to electric. Yeah, this is the song from the opening of Pineapple Express. Yeah. What? This is like a stoner song. And we're at IHOP. I think that's pretty fair.
We're the least stoner IHOP in the world.
We should have gone to the Boynton IHOP. That would have been
all the way up.
It's like a 30-minute drive from here.
It would have been a good time killer.
Yeah, but then I would have had to drive you back to Boca.
Yeah, it would have been fun.
Yeah, but I think this is fine. Oh yeah, last week I went to Wham City Comedy. I saw Wham City Comedy. You've seen them before. Mm-hmm. We had the whole conversation already that we should have done a podcast. No, we didn't.
No, but I don't want you to spoil their bits on the
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about any of their bits, but it was one of the best shows I've ever been to. It was at a place called the Mercury Lounge, which I've heard the Mercury Lounge before. Like, people have things at the Mercury Lounge. So I'm like, okay. And
how was the venue?
It was perfect for Wham City. Like, you walk in and it's like a hall, like a small hall this thin. Like, they can't see, but you can look out. Small hall this thin that was just a bar. That was it. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. So I walk in, it's pretty packed because everyone's there for the show. And they had Takati, so I got Takati. And it was pretty great. So we're all just kind of standing there, and then they open these back doors, and you go in, and there's like a small room with no seats, just standing.
Yep.
Small room, and there's a stage at the front. So I just walk directly up to the most front and center position I could possibly be in, Yeah, it was incredible. Like, Wham City, I don't know how they do it. It was about a 2.5 hour. It was like a 2.5 hour show, and they were consistently.
They reused no bits from like old shows.
Yeah, I don't know how they were consistently funny so funny to the point where I was in tears, barely able to breathe for 2 hours. Like, how did they do that for 2 hours? They were completely on for 2 hours straight. They were so funny, and that's not even their only thing. They make some of the best horror movies. Like, pure horror, not even like, I mean, they have comedy, but like, they make some of the best horror movies. Listen to this playlist. You just had Lecture Avenue, and Welcome to the Jungle. This is great.
Is this Welcome to the Jungle?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
I was just singing this earlier. We were talking about Jumanji.
Have you seen it yet?
No.
Incredible. It wasn't incredible. It was pretty good. It was entertaining. That's how to describe it.
I don't know why this song is associated with Jumanji.
With Jack Black, because the movie was called Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh yeah, that's why. Like someone said that, and I'm like, "Welcome to the jungle."
Yeah, they used this song in the credits, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah, but so it was so funny. But they also make amazing horror movies. It's incredible. They're geniuses. They're so good.
They're actually geniuses. I don't know how they do it.
One of the best shows I've ever been to. I was laughing the entire time. The crowd there was really interesting because
it's not even like. It's not like some of them are geniuses. They're all geniuses in their own ways.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I have like great things to say about all four of them.
They're so funny.
There's more like Wham City people than the four that are on.
They're like the
right
main
now.
four, I guess,
But
right?
I think I actually don't know how many people are in Wham City.
Because you see so many more people in like their.
They have more like
skits
cameramen and things.
Yeah.
I believe, but the four that are on tour right now all have like such distinct styles, and are all like.
I'm thinking now about like some of the bits, and I'm laughing just thinking about it.
They're all absolute geniuses.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna spoil the bits, but
like the way like Robbie can turn on in an instant.
It's like the progression of Robbie in his scenes. It's like he just looks like a normal guy walking around like hanging out with people in the beginning, like before the show. Like he got yelled at for trying to sneak people in. Yeah. But like he's just walking around chilling, and then how in the bit he gets to the point where he starts off with like a normal thing, just like talking about like, oh, you ever have this situation, like a normal stand-up kind of thing, and then over the course of his like time on stage, he slowly descends into madness to the point where like his face is lobster red. He's covered in sweat. His entire shirt is covered in sweat. He has
you cannot tell the difference between him and a lobster.
Yeah, he has like snot and like saliva coming down his face. Like he's covered in sweat, like screaming, tears pouring from his eyes. It's incredible. But yeah, like if you get a chance to go see Wham City comedy, like you don't need to know who they are. It's still an incredible show. One of the best shows I've ever been to, and these are things like I wouldn't get to do unless I moved to like a real city. I mean, right now I'm in Florida.
Living in New York is blessed. It's so good.
I never even talked about I don't think I ever even talked to you about this. Where I went to the Schindler's List thing.
How was that?
Schindler's List is one of my favorite movies.
Liam Neeson?
I didn't meet anyone because you don't get that opportunity. But
did you see him?
Yeah. It was really cool. So what they did is you went and showed Schindler's List. I forgot that Schindler's List is like a 3.5 hour movie. So I was there. It was a long night. But yeah. So
and that was the night Infinity War came out. You went to see that over Infinity War.
Okay, I saw Infinity War the next night. It was fine.
Yeah. You were okay.
So yeah, I went. They were doing a cast and director thing of one of my favorite movies. So I went, and it was really cool.
Like they couldn't have put that on any other night.
I don't know.
More people.
It was pretty packed. But so it was at the Beacon Theater, which is another theater venue I've heard.
Imagine if Liam ditched to go see Infinity War.
But yeah, so yeah, I went. It was really, really great. They showed the movie first, of course, and then everyone came out. They had like Liam Neeson, Ben Kingsley, Steven Spielberg himself.
Steven Spielberg?
Yeah.
Did you steal his hat?
And then Ray Fiennes wasn't there, but there was the person who played Schindler's wife who was in like 3 minutes in the movie. But yeah,
My wife.
but yeah, it was great, and they told the stories about like filming and everything. And there was one thing that Spielberg said that really fucked me up, and I have not been able to think about something about it. He said since he made Schindler's List, no movie has given him satisfaction.
Wow.
That really fucked me up.
That's
And he just made Ready Player One, and it made me like I'm like
Until Ready Player One.
until Ready Player One, his magnum opus. And he was telling my funniest thing was that he was making Jurassic Park and Schindler's List at the same time. So he would be in Poland and he'd have to go on satellite calls to direct T-Rex scenes. Jurassic Park.
It's weird to think that those movies were directed at the same time.
Yeah, by the same man.
Yeah. I mean that's not that weird, but like that they were directed at the same time.
Yeah. Two of my favorite movies, yeah. But yeah, it was. I mean, if you haven't seen Schindler's List, it's probably the best movie ever made.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I have like 5 movies that are my favorite movie, and I'd say that's one of them.
I mean, Sky High.
Sky High. It's like I'm imagining, you know that website Flick Chart where you have to like vote against the 2 movies, which one you like more? Sky High. And they have those like annoying captions at top, like tough one. They're gonna kill you for this decision. But yeah, that was really cool.
We should make that a video. It's like,
and then
you see a guy like sitting in front of his computer, and then it's like a really long segment of that, and then bing, and it shows the screen, and it just goes for Sky High.
Yeah.
Write that down.
I can't. I'm recording on the phone.
Mentally write it down.
You write it down on your phone.
I'm gonna write it down as Schindler's List for Sky High.
Yeah. So the next night, so that night I got home at 2 a.m. Had to wake up at 6 a.m. for work. So that night, I had already bought tickets, so I couldn't back out. I had already bought tickets to see Infinity War. So what I did, I decided to get in the most endless just seeing a movie state possible. I had a large coffee from Dunkin', a large dark roast from Dunkin'. I had a Red Bull, and I had a canned coffee.
How big was the Red Bull?
Normal size, like not the small one, but not the large one.
The like 12-ounce one?
Like I don't know what the size, like the normal one you typically get.
It's like the 8.6, and then the 12, and then like the tall boy.
your sizes that your hands are like triple the size that they're actually like.
No, 8.6 is like that big, right? It's like 8.6, right?
Yeah.
12, tall boy.
Yeah. So I had like the middle one, and I saw Infinity War, and that night I couldn't explain the movie. It was such a fever dream. Like it was essentially how I explain an interdimensional cable episode of Rick and Morty, but with Marvel stuff.
You should never see it again.
I always remembered it that way. And then I decided to make my actual legit video of it after only that viewing.
I should watch your video and also make a video on it as if your video is fact.
Yeah, and there's so much incorrect information in that video.
Don't take it down. Just unlist it if you ever.
I think I'm gonna unlist it. Yeah. So there was that.
Has anyone commented on it? It's been like this is so wrong.
No comments because I don't get views anymore. Remember? Okay. I had like a huge spike, then I didn't make a video for 6 months because I was too busy, and then when I finally got back into making videos, no one watched it anymore. I just have to get it back. Eventually I'll get it back if I just keep making videos.
The professor's back in class.
Yeah.
Class is now in session.
What was I just about to say? Oh yeah, Infinity War. I've said everything I'm planning on saying about Infinity War already, so there's not much to say here because I made 2 separate reviews of the movie. One is my first review after the Fever Dream viewing. One is my second view where I'm just crying about the Scarlet Witch and Vision scene, and I'm also and then mainly.
What happened with Scarlet Witch? Wait, no, don't say it.
No, I'm mainly crying about when Star-Lord has his mental break, and it was like the best scene ever put to film. And it was like.
But what about the one where Sky High gets his power?
Good night. No, we're still here.
You do this bit too. Don't give me that.
I do the same bit. But yeah, so it was my second review is Jen actually commented on that one, but yeah, it's just me like in near tears talking about those two scenes and how they like are the best scenes in any superhero movie ever made, and I still stand by that. Like, there's scenes that don't belong in that movie, if that makes sense. They are like Oscar scenes just in a superhero movie, if that makes sense, just randomly there. So those two, yeah, and it's just me talking about those two scenes essentially for 10 minutes and how amazing they are and how they don't feel like acting and they just feel like a real person. But yeah, but Infinity War is like,
I mean, what's Star-Lord? Chris Pratt is like
he's a great actor.
He's a very genuine actor.
Yeah, and then I didn't know Elizabeth Olsen was capable of it, because she's typically like a very caricatured performance as this character. She plays the Scarlet Witch, who's a very like caricatured character.
Who's Scarlet Witch?
Russian girl from, you saw Age of Ultron, the Russian girl, the one with the brother that died. Yeah. So her big scene in this movie, it was incredible. Like, I was like, how is an actor capable of doing this? They're acting like it was insane to me. It was incredible. So yeah, I talk about that in that video. Go watch them. There's 2 videos about me screaming about Infinity War. I drink a lot of them.
You drink a lot?
Both of those reviews start off with me downing half a beer in one sip. Have I talked about like my
drinking problem?
Okay, so
I will crump with you.
It's not alcoholism, because I can stop anytime.
No, don't give me this. It's alcoholism.
Okay, I haven't had a beer.
But it's okay if.
Okay, so I like beer a lot. It's not even like the effect is great, but I also love the taste of beer. So I like trying new beers. So I just buy new beers all the time. Like a significant amount of my money is spent on beer.
Are you gonna talk about your Penn Station thing?
I only did it once. I exaggerated.
Once, okay.
But so
I just think it's funny.
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
it sounds like fun.
A ton of people do it. Like it's like an unspoken club. Like
it really sounds like fun.
Yeah.
It's like a crowd of people, or like a few stragglers.
I'd say like have you ever been on the Long Island Railroad?
No. Well, yes. Not like during rush hour.
Yes, but do you know the size of the car?
Yeah.
Each car. About like 5 people per car.
What? Oh, like 5. Okay.
Each car is about.
Do they like sit together?
No.
That would be funny.
So
everyone. It would be like the like the 4-person seats that all face each other. They're
we should do a scene like that of us with the tall boys, Jake. Okay, so let me explain this. So, well, first I'll talk about the whole beer thing. I really like beer. I buy beer a lot, and I try the new beers. I don't have any friends in New York right now. Well, all my friends that live in New York are in school right now. Well, they're probably done. I could probably contact them. Yeah, so I drink alone. Because I like the taste of beer, and it tastes good, and it makes me feel good, so why wouldn't I do it? But there's the problem.
Listen, I don't think it's that big of a problem as long as you recognize it.
Yeah,
like not like letting it get out of hand.
It's not like I need a beer. Like I don't go home and I'm like I need a beer. I'm like, oh, there's beer in the fridge. I'll have it. It's not like I haven't had a beer in like since when I talked to you about Wham City. That was the last beer I had. It's not like I'm like dependent on it. Like I don't feel anything right now. Like it's not like I'm like oh, but yeah. So this tall boy thing. So it's a thing. It's a thing because my dad knows about it too. So like it's a thing for like Long Island Railroad commuters. So you go to Penn Station and the Walgreens there, and then there's a bunch of other. Well, it's called Duane Reade in New York. Excuse me.
I know.
Yeah. So the Walgreens there and then a couple other vendors. They sell these like tall boys of different beers. They have like Coors, Bud Light, like the cheap beers. Budweiser. So what they do is they get the tall boys.
Pretty much, if you buy they have expensive ones, but if you buy them, you're a chump.
Yeah, like you get the tall boys, the cheap ones, and they put them in like brown paper bags. Walgreens doesn't give you a paper bag. I don't know why. But like if you get anyone else, they give you a paper bag, or you bring your own paper bag. I don't know. I've never had the paper bag. I don't know.
But Isn't that illegal if you don't have one?
I don't know. I did it on the train. No, there's no cops on the train. There's no one gonna walk up.
They are. What? I think you need the bag.
Okay, well...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do need the bag. I need to figure out where these guys actually go up to one of them. Where'd you get the bag?
Yeah, actually, you should...
Yeah. So
I'm
it's
sure
this club. It's like middle-aged businessmen, like well, they're not necessarily businessmen, middle-aged men in suits that are coming from work.
You're just like working.
Yeah, working men that work at the city, commute from Long Island. They get these like, well, there's a couple of people every day of the week, but mainly Fridays. They get these tall boys like a beer, and they drink it. They like drink it on the way home on Long Island Railroad. And I decided to do it one week, and I mean I've gotten them before for home because they're like it's $2 for an Arizona-sized beer. So I'm like, yeah. So I've gotten it before just for home to have at home. But yeah, so like I got it, and yeah, that's the beer, the Long Island Railroad Beer Club. Long Island Railroad Midnight, the infamous Long Island Railroad Midnight Train. No, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh,
we're just moving around.
It's very non-committal, like the size of an Arizona.
You know when coffee gets like a little, when IHOP coffee gets a little bit cooler, I can't top it off. It's too high.
No, it's more what?
I can't top. Look.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that'll probably make it better. But yeah. So you get the gist of what I'm saying. But yeah. I love beer. It's a problem.
Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good. It's good.
So what else has happened in the past? It has been months since we last recorded a podcast. There's essentially not almost every week I've been like, hey, let's this is the week we're gonna do the podcast, and then we don't do it.
It's hard now that I'm at home. I get interrupted constantly. I can't go like 10 minutes without being interrupted. It's awful.
What I used to do is I would just tell my parents. I would lock my door. I'd tell my parents before I'm recording a podcast.
It does not work.
They just don't listen.
Huh? No. Like I told my mom, I'm like, hey, I'm recording a video. Like, hey, I'm recording a video right now. Like literally 3 to 5 seconds later, the vacuum turns on.
No, my parents are really good about when I was living at home. I would say I'm recording a video, and they'd be like, or a podcast. They'd be like, okay, fine, and they wouldn't bother me until I was done.
And then like my brother and I set up the whole green screen, and I started recording, and then my mom opens up the door and like almost knocks over the whole green screen. I'm like, hello? I told you I was recording.
Amazing. But
why did you open the door?
But so it's kind of hard to record this. So what I'm gonna say right now, I'm announcing it right now, weekly.
Weekly?
No, we're not saying that.
No, we can do it.
You want to try for it?
I don't know.
I was gonna say
I don't know what I'm gonna talk about.
I was gonna say we're either gonna do weekly or not commit to anything. One of the two extremes.
We should both commit to weekly and not commit to anything.
Okay, we're gonna try for weekly.
We will. Right now, we are committing to trying.
Should we pick a weekday? That's not gonna work because you never know when something comes up.
Let's just. Well, I mean, we should release them on a day, but we can record them anytime.
Okay, yeah.
We'll do topics. Let's get some topics.
Yeah, we could do topics whenever if nothing's happening. But yeah, I feel like this is a good cast. Talk about just a bunch of stuff.
Oh.
I mean, it's because so many. We're fucked. This video's gonna get banned worldwide.
It's fine. I can take it out.
But like, yeah, like we essentially talk to each other every day, whether it be through Kick or Discord. Like through Kick, we're essentially in a conversation 24/7, right? Like,
can we move everyone over to Discord, please, so I can check it on my computer?
Zach, you moved me over to Kick once. I don't like working on Discord. I'm sorry.
Why?
I don't like the interface. Like, I only use it for when I'm doing you. Like, I really don't want to move it there. But if it's okay with you, I really don't want to move it there. You can do GroupMe.
What's GroupMe?
You use that in browser. It's essentially just Kick, the same thing as Kick. No different.
Use Discord in browser.
I'm sorry. I will not.
How do you not like Discord?
Okay, Zach.
I'm on Discord all
I'm just
day.
letting you know we will never talk. We'll never talk again. We don't use Discord. I'm just like,
how do you
why don't we just use Kick for now?
How
it's
do you
just
not
fine.
like
It's not an inconvenience. There's nothing wrong with it. We can use it.
We can. It's just like, I don't know. I just like Discord, and it's so easy.
Discord is fine to me, but it's like the notifications don't work the same for me. Like, notifications aren't consistent.
What do you mean?
Like, I'll sometimes get notifications for every single thing, and sometimes get no notifications for an entire thing.
What are you talking about? You turn that per server. You change that per server, man.
Okay. Well, I don't use Discord a lot. I only use Discord to talk to you.
I have it for our server. I get every notification on my phone.
Why don't we do like a demo run? Why don't we do like a day where we try it, and then we see if it. We like it.
Eventually, I want to move everyone over because
it's just, you know what I mean. You're gonna have to get Alberto and Jen. Juliet's not gonna move over to Discord. She'll be lost in the thing.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. But Zach's like, someone doesn't want to follow what I want, so goodbye.
It's just so much easier.
For you.
For me. You can check it on both your phone and your computer. I just like...
Okay.
You don't know how much I miss because I don't have my phone near me.
But yeah, like the podcast, I want to do it more, and I want to start doing more topic casts because I always have a really good time doing the topic cast. But yeah, like, it's weird because I've told so many stories about shit that's happening in my life to Zach directly that I can't remember what's been portrayed in a video and what hasn't. Like what's in a piece of content and what isn't. Like, I can't remember.
You know what happened that hasn't been in a podcast?
What?
Season 5 intro.
Yeah, the vlog season 5 has premiered. Thanks to Zach. Incredible intro.
Thank you.
Go check it out. Season 5's out. It started. I've seen Ready Player One since the last podcast. This movie, like 5 years of anticipation for this movie. Ready Player One. Just shivering with constipation. Incredible vlog title. But yeah, Ready Player One.
When shivering with constipation?
It was
out?
Okay, back to Ready Player One. Incredible movie. Incredible movie.
Back to constipation.
I think it was really.
When is it coming out?
Can I talk?
It can't come out.
Shivering with constipation. That's what this was called.
It's having trouble coming out.
Coffee. Okay. Can I talk about a film? Zach?
If you want.
Okay, Ready Player One. It was great because they took the same premise and then did a completely different story with the same characters, which perfect way to do it because it's you know what I mean? It's like you get two amazing Ready Player One stories for the
price of one.
For the price of one, but you get what I'm saying, right? I think it's really cool that they did that because it's like, you know what I mean? You're going in there and you don't know what's going to happen.
It's
You're
for
just
you,
watching
Jim.
it. What are you saying? Okay. This entire night, we've just been spouting shit. Like, things come out of your mouth. Do you know what you're saying? Do you even know?
Honestly, no. I'm trying to do a bit for the
you're
podcast.
You're losing your mind. But do you know what your bit is?
So it's a Tim and Eric bit. I'm trying to be like an accomplice bit for your like if you're doing like a very dry like movie review, and I'm trying to keep the viewers engaged. I'm trying to keep them engaged in comedy with comedy. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a Tim and Eric bit. I'm doing a bit, and I'm tying it into like popular pop culture, and I'm trying to keep them like engaged, like Twitter. You know Twitter.
Never used it before.
Okay. Josh is not in on the bit. Or Josh is trying to do his own bit. He's not helping me with this bit. See, I've actually transitioned into another bit where I am explaining my previous bit, and now I'm explaining my current bit.
Good night.
Where are we going?
No. I'm thinking we move this podcast over to a different location.
All right.
What do you have to say?
All right. You want to like catch him back in the car?
Well, we don't have to stop recording.
We can.
Can you pause it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll just stop it. Goodbye.
This is the funniest thing I've ever said.
All right.
I hate comedy.
You've done it. Good job. All right, welcome back.
I'm laughing so hard at my own accidental joke. I accidentally called the place that we're going IHOP, so I said, "Where's IHOP? It's over there, right?" Pointing back to the IHOP. I'm crying. My face hurts so bad. This is what I was like when I'm sitting for 2 hours straight. Now you know that's what I was like for 2 hours. Oh, fuck. Yep. Dr. Gonzo's here.
He's back. In black.
You're recording, right?
Back. Yep.
You know what that's gonna be the sound like, right? In that cup holder, it's gonna be.
What do you want me to do? Hold it?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll hold it.
Motherfucker.
Fuck you.
So I've watched the movie The Disaster Artist like 5 times in the past month. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I like know every scene now. Like, it's ridiculous. It's where it's one of those movies now that I've seen it so many times in a short amount of time that I can like play it in my head.
Go right here. Yep.
Yeah. I know how to get there from here.
I haven't watched any movies.
I love movies. They're so non-committal. You like watch a movie and then 2 hours later you're done with the piece of media.
The last movie I saw was 1517 to Paris. Great
way to end your movie career. Movie watching.
I will never watch another movie because nothing will ever top how awful it was.
Have we talked about 1517 to Paris?
I don't think we have.
Podcast?
I don't think we have. What was the last podcast?
A while ago. 1517 to Paris is this anomaly of a film. Like,
it's terrible.
It's Clint Eastwood, competent actor, competent director. He's
great Western actor.
Yeah. He's made great movies in the past. I haven't seen any of them, but he's made great movies in the past. He's like a competent director. He decides to make a movie about the 1517 to Paris massacre. It wasn't. No one died. There was a terrorist act on a train, and he decided to make a movie about it. And he decided, I'm going to cast the real life people as the characters. In principle, excellent idea.
No.
In execution, probably shouldn't cast people that have never acted in their entire life in a big budget Hollywood movie
as the main characters.
Okay, people complain about the acting, but I don't even think that was the worst part.
I think the directing was the worst
storytelling,
part.
the narrative was. It was absurd.
Even the part with the actors was fucking awful. It was terrible.
It was absurd. Like, how is that movie? Like, see it. It's incredible.
It's actually.
I saw it for free because of MoviePass.
I paid $12 to see that movie.
You paid $12.
I paid $15-17 to see. Almost $15-17.
You should have tipped to make it $15-17.
Oh God, I can't believe I paid money to see 1517 to Paris. I can't.
We
could have seen I, Tonya and not.
I wanted to see that.
Experience.
And it was just like everyone was like, no, I want to see 1517.
I want to see 1517 to Paris.
Hey, you know what?
Jordy.
That was one of the best movie experiences I've ever had. I got up and started jogging around the theater because no one was in the theater except for us. We spent the first half of the movie silent, like not talking, and then eventually, like, it was one of those situations where I was like, I don't know if everyone else thinks it's this bad, so should I say something?
I was dying.
And then eventually, once we all broke the ice that we all thought it was that bad and we realized no one was in the theater, it just became a fucking riff trash shit show. The entire rest of the movie. I was running around the theater screaming.
There was a point, like, it got progressively louder and louder.
Yeah.
And once we realized no one was in the theater, all hell broke loose. At some point, I screamed at the top of my lungs, "No, Jerry Temporary!"
There was a guy that looked vaguely similar to Paul McCartney.
He barely looked like him.
Like vaguely resembled Paul McCartney.
But there's like a running joke that he was Paul McCartney.
Like, that's the lore. He is Paul McCartney. But yeah, so the plot of this movie is that there's there's the guy from Homeless Guy Eats Crap, his friend, and they're on a train going to Paris, the 1517 to Paris. Jerry Temporary, alter ego of Paul McCartney, is on this train as well, and then ex-Mossad agent, at the time he was a Mossad agent, Shahar Daniels, is trying to take out Jerry Temporary for his pro-Palestine messages. And he gets on the train, about to shoot it up. Miraculously, the trouble finds him. Trouble finds him 2 weeks later, when in real life, this actually happened. This isn't it.
This is not it. This is not a turn. Can I? You can. There's no cars.
Yeah. I'm pulling it out, like, this isn't Wawa.
Where are we?
But yeah, so in real life, 2 weeks later, this same guy was attacked by another terrorist and stopped another terrorist.
Trouble found him.
Okay, but yeah. Trouble finds him.
Trouble truly
Saved
found him.
Jerry Temporary.
No, his name is Homeless Guy Eats Crap because Trouble finds him.
Where are we? Is Wawa not coming up? Oh, it's right across from the comic book store, and the comic book store is down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, incredible movie. It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. My sister loves that movie.
How?
I think the perfect explanation of this movie, there is a scene in the Middle East. They are in the Middle East, and a guy leaves his backpack in a village. They go back and get the backpack. They go back and get the backpack, but he loses his hat. and the guy says, he goes, but I lost my hat. And they go, forget about it. At least you got your backpack back. When does that come up again? Ever in the movie?
Never brought up again. Had no relevance.
This movie is like The Room, where there's scenes that just never come. It's The Room. It's The Room again. They made The Room again, but it was made by Clint Eastwood. I'm like screaming now because how did this happen? Incredible movie. Incredible. One day we have to do a riff trash on it. This is Wawa.
How did this movie happen? I'm so confused.
Well, we spoiled where we're going like 50 times. Yeah, we're at Wawa.
Was it a secret? It's not like the viewers can see it. They're not even viewing. They're just listening. There's people sitting outside.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
This Wawa's fucking bumping!
Should I get a brown bag beer?
I don't think you needed to sit at Wawa. You just needed to go out in public.
On the Long Island Railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh?
I am.
This is a great parking job, Josh.
Oh my god, there's so many people outside.
This is the most packed I've seen in Wawa
This is
at
great.
midnight. What time is it?
It's like midnight. I was about to say, where's my phone? And I'm like, oh, wait. I've seen a Wawa this crowded in my life.
It is 12:40 at night. Wawa is packed. Thank you. What are you getting?
I don't know.
Oh, thank you. Huh? That was awful etiquette, Josh. What are you getting?
I don't know. I kind of want to.
They have like lemonades here now. I want to try it.
Where is it?
Beverages, Debbie, iced. It's back.
Peach lemonade. That actually sounds pretty good. Still going
I'm
right?
tempted. I want to try it.
It's frozen.
How much is it?
Do I get another coffee?
Are you gonna be up all night?
I don't know. I kind of do want to go to sleep at some point.
I don't want another caffeinated beverage.
Well, I can get like a.
Oh, the shakes are really good.
Where's the shakes?
Up here, I think? No, milkshakes.
What's a flurricane?
It's like a hurricane, but less deadly.
Do they have that secret menu thing that I see on Twitter? Everyone doing?
What is it?
Because I follow Wawa on Twitter, and I like see so much Wawa.
It's not very secret if Wawa's posting
No,
it.
they weren't posting it. It was fans were only saying they were retweeting it.
It's not very secret if Wawa's retweeting the secret.
How do you get to it, Ian? There's like a trick on the thing.
Is it that? Oh! Kidding me?
Yeah, there it is. Wait, what's the difference between a birthday cake smoothie and a birthday cake milkshake?
I don't know, but I need it.
Which one do I get, though? I feel like the milkshake's safer, right?
I actually cannot.
Milkshake.
Safest bet.
Safest bet. What else do I want, though? I could get more stuff.
I'm gonna try yours.
What's...
It has 1,000 calories.
Maybe I shouldn't.
Get it.
I'm getting a 1,000-calorie drink. Should I get rice and beans?
I'm gonna get. I really want to try this lemonade. $5 for lemonade. Whatever. Alright, what you getting?
I don't know. Do I want another thing from here, or do I just want to look around? What do you think? What do you think I should do?
You want a pretzel?
Yeah, I may do that. Yeah, I'll just get this. Why am I getting this? I'm doing it. Don't do it again. I already bought it. How do I just go to like finish?
I have no idea. Previous? Wait. I don't know.
Can I?
I think you go to previous. Fell. Fell. Complete and print my order.
There we go.
Lemonade.
Oh, yeah, we paid for everything. There's no pencils.
Huh?
No pencils.
What?
I'm gonna look around.
What are you gonna get?
I don't know. Why don't you get water?
A boogie do the tall boy challenge.
Should we get a wobbly swallow? Another wobbly swallow on water review?
Oh, do the monster coffee.
No, it's not gonna. Especially some having an 1,000 calorie shake.
We should coin the tall boy challenge.
I'm a fancy boy.
Wow. Huh?
So I'm a fancy boy again.
The alcohol thing is closed.
Do you hear the song?
What song is this?
I don't know.
Huh?
It sounds pretty funny.
I don't know. Alright. Shit.
Get away from my shit.
You don't pay first?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if I want anything else.
Huh? Alright, I'm just gonna play. Yep.
Thank you. The total is $244. Have a good day. Take care.
Thank you.
Just realized we're not the kosher critic yet. So you have to pause the podcast. The kosher critic yet. It's still going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, guys?
Welcome back. Oh, yours up there, I think.
28,
Yep. Thank you.
26.
I was like, maybe she did something else, and I'm like, I could just walk inside if I want anything.
Yeah.
This is the most exorbitantly unhealthy.
Are you ready to drink half a day's worth of calories?
It's worth of calories. And I've eaten 2 meals today. And toast.
Wait, did you not eat breakfast or lunch?
I had breakfast, dinner, and toast.
You've eaten 2 dinners.
Well, toasted.
Oh, wait. Let's just sit here. Oh, alright, never mind. I'll sit over here. Huh?
You sit there, I'll sit there.
Alright.
Okay. So are you gonna film with your phone and then we'll do it still Coach Critic Live? Let's first crack into my Fiji water because I am a fancy boy.
Wait, you want me to...
I'm not gonna review Fiji.
Huh?
I've had Fiji before. Delicious tap water in a nice spot.
I forgot I can't record on your phone.
Yeah.
Or I can't, like, upload from my phone, rather.
You can't put it on your computer and upload it?
Huh?
You can put it on your computer, right?
Alright, we'll catch you back.
Yeah, we'll pause it and then we'll record. We'll catch you back and we'll give like a second.
Ayo, bacon.
We're back. We filmed an excellent Kosher Critic. Yeah, I'm drinking this 1,000-calorie shake, and
I'm drinking lemonade.
Every sip makes me feel excruciatingly guilty.
It tastes real good.
It tastes good.
It does taste like you're sucking a.
It tastes like you're sucking a condensed down. Like it's like they put a birthday cake in a blender and you're drinking it.
Yeah. Josh goes ham.
So it's essentially you're eating a whole birthday cake in one go.
It's like you bought a sheet cake and you're just eating the whole thing in a parking lot because you don't have any utensils. Uploaded called Josh Goes Ham. Oh my god.
Corey McCloskey versus Atuba. So what's some of the best videos that came out in the past 20 years? Digi's new style is incredible. I love it so. He changed his channel to the Otaku Gods of Journalists, and he's finally like living up to that name. That was such a Hunter video. That what was it? The porn video. That was such a Hunter video.
Weird anime porn may be his best video.
His best main channel.
His best main channel video ever. His After Dark videos, I don't think have been as good. I'm very excited for some stuff that's coming up. His music videos that are coming up, I'm so excited for. I think his new album came out like between the last 2 podcasts, between like
Ghost of Winter Ballers.
Yeah.
What do you think of it? Because my review isn't out yet, but
I liked it. You didn't like it.
I feel like once I connect with it, I'll like it. But for now, I haven't like connected
have you listened
with
to the
it.
behind the scenes yet?
He did it behind the scenes?
It just came out.
When?
Very recently.
It never came up in my sub box.
Huh?
Never came up in my sub box.
It's on Turntable.
I'm subscribed to that.
Missed it.
I just don't. Did I ever told you this? Like I haven't talked about this. I
told you why. Right? YouTube just decides. That
I don't get half the videos.
It's because you don't watch anything on Turntable. Because they're all like about other music things.
I watch his reviews of his own music, and I listen to his own music. That's it. I don't watch any of the other stuff.
Yeah, because you don't watch the other things on Turntable. It decides that you don't want to see Turntable, so it doesn't show them to you. Even though you do want to see this video.
I pushed the subscribe button.
Anyway.
Why isn't that enough?
But like what he says is he's like I wanted people to listen to the album and get my point through it through repeated listening. But like so many people connect with things through like so many people watch Digi because they love having things explained to them. And I mean, I'm not necessarily that way, right? I was one of the people that was like piecing together Gay and Dead, and right, and like literally in this video, he said like he pretty explicitly said like I was right about it. He was like he didn't say me by name, but he was like yeah, people pieced together Gay and Dead exactly how it was supposed to be, and that made me happy without me saying it. But I feel like he maybe doesn't understand that a lot of people connect with it when he explains it a lot more. Like, I feel like after you listen to the explanation,
I love it.
You'll get it a lot more.
the reason I haven't released, have I told you, the reason I haven't released my video is sitting on my channel. It's the start of my new series called Album of the Week.
It's because you haven't filmed any others?
No, it's not. It's because I shouldn't have reviewed this album because I know my opinion is going to have a complete 180 at some point, if that makes sense. I know there's going to be a turning point where I love it.
When you understand it.
Yeah. But my issue is that I've listened to this way more times than it's taken me for the period. It took me like, I don't remember how many listens it took me to understand Gay now, but once I understood it, it was amazing. But I've listened to this way more times than it took me to understand. I've listened to Gay now way more times overall, but you get what I'm saying. Where it took me way more time, and I still haven't absorbed any of it. If that makes sense.
It's really like...
I haven't, nothing sticks with me at all from the entire album. I keep on listening. I don't know if it's where I'm listening to it. I don't know if it's when I'm listening to it.
Like, nothing connected with you
Nothing.
at all?
I cannot tell you any of the songs on the
is-
album. Except for We Did Spot When You Walk Up My
That was like the song... That song did not connect with me at all.
My favorite Digi imagery is when he says, imagine doing a speed shopping at a grocery store, running to the grocery store, trying to buy as many groceries as fast as possible while we hit the shopping rock on my thing is funny. That's my favorite image. That should be the music video. Him trying to get groceries really fast, like a GoPro camera. Imagine that. It would be so good.
God.
But yeah,
Is it confirmed that the music video for We'd Hit the Spot is a video of Digi having sex?
oh my god, I don't know.
Is it? Is it confirmed?
I don't know.
Or did he just take it from some video? I don't think he watches normal porn, so I don't know where he would have gotten it from.
Wait, did he make the music video?
Yeah.
It's out?
It came out before the album.
I haven't seen it. What is it?
It's porn.
Oh, what, is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
How?
I don't know.
Is it just horrible filter or whatever?
Yeah, it's just super
Okay.
filtered.
I may have seen it and just forgot about it.
It doesn't come in until later.
Okay.
Just go watch it. It's
okay,
weird.
yeah, but
I immediately downloaded it because I'm like, this is gonna get taken off YouTube.
I recorded this review to get my opinions across. In the video, I said my opinions will probably change, but I still don't want to release it. I think what I'm going to do is give it a couple more.
Did no tracks get to you?
I can't tell you a single track right now. I can't tell you what any of them sound like. I can't tell you. I've listened to this album many times, and I can't
listened
tell
to this
you
album probably 5 or 6
enough times to lost count, I'd say.
But 2 tracks really hit me hard. It was Trailer, and I think Trailer's the name of the first song. Actually,
It is.
Trailer. You said you couldn't name it. Anyway, Trailer and Seed 2.
I watched an analysis of Trailer.
Trailer's a really good song, and the second part of Trailer is really good. And I also listened to the song while I was falling asleep, which is also how I got into it.
Is that the one? I think I remember how that goes. Doo. I can't.
It starts off like really repetitive.
It's him almost screaming over a loud kind of pitchy beat.
Yeah, I don't remember what it. I don't remember how it sounds, but the ending is just him explaining his YouTube career, I think. And then See Part 2, I know the entire thing because it's a million times better than Seed. Seed was one of my favorite songs.
By all means, this should be one of my favorite albums.
Do you not like Seed Part 2?
I don't remember it at all.
I'd be honest.
No, I remember the beginning. I remember the first line, but that's it. That's all I remember. I don't remember.
That's the best Digiline ever. Just the. It's such a good song.
Here, when we get back in the car, we are 100% putting this on. Actually, no, because then you're gonna try to explain to me how good it is, and I'm not gonna.
We'll listen to it, and I won't I won't pressure you. I'll just put it on, and.
My thing is, I want to love this album, and I can't yet. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't even say I love the album. I really like 2 of the songs.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't even listened to Manic High, Manic Low. I wasn't into it. But I like Midwinter Ballers because 2 of the songs are really good.
What else? I feel like some YouTube things have happened a lot recently with the changes in YouTube that I feel like are. Michelle started a channel, which is hilarious. It's great. The Nate teaching her how to drive is the funniest thing to me. It will never not be funny.
It's good.
It's Nate Bestman as a driving instructor.
Oh, good guy.
Oh, he's down.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched that much PCP stuff. Like, it's only like I don't know.
See, I've only watched PCB stuff recently.
Yeah, you've gotten much more into it than I have recently.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I'll get back into it, but right now, it's not much.
I think I was kind of trickling down, and then Arm Con made me do a complete spike to where I've been going back and watching old PCB stuff that I never saw. Like, I'm almost done with both all of Armored Shape and all of the Horseshoe Saga. And
So,
I'm like 3/4 both way through both of those.
What I've done is I've totally like abandoned my watch later as a concept because
Oh no, you've just lost so many videos.
No, in my mind it's like so essentially if it's not important enough to be remembered, then it's not important enough to take my time. Like if I want to watch something,
Can I tell you why you're dumb?
Why? Why am I
Because
dumb?
hundreds of videos come out every day, and there's no way you're going to be able to remember all the important ones.
I look through my subscriptions and I watch the ones that I want to watch.
Yeah. But then there'll be videos that are amazing, and I'll ask you, and you're like, I don't remember that ever coming out. I can't think of any now, so you're going to ask me that. I'm like, you know what I'm saying, right?
I'm not going to quiz you on that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of them that I will watch eventually. And I do I do use my watch later, but I don't use it like I used to. I don't like put things in it and watch them and cross them off. I have for when I have long periods of time that I need to watch something.
Yeah.
But the classical use, it was taking up way too much of my time. I have stuff that I need to work on, and I wasn't working on it. Like I was losing so much time to that, to YouTube, which I don't want to do anymore. I don't have time on the train. I don't have commute time anymore.
I have
It sucks.
so much time where I could do literally nothing but consume stuff.
I used to, at my job, I used to just listen to stuff in the background. I don't have that time anymore.
I can't listen to stuff at work because it's not really an environment that I can, because I need to hear what other people say. But I listen to stuff on the train, I listen to stuff during my lunch break, and I listen to stuff at home. And
I don't listen to stuff at home. I don't have time. All right, everything I listen to, or everything I do.
So what do
needs
you
audio.
do when you're not working on videos?
Usually, I'm in voice chats where I can't.
Okay, yeah, that
listen
makes
to
sense.
Audio,
Yeah.
which is fun, but also it's
It
unfortunate.
sucks because the only media I consume now are audiobooks and YouTube videos. I don't consume anything else because I'm at the point where I don't have the because I essentially want to either essentially when I'm not at work, I want to be making a video or working on my books. And if I'm not doing either, I feel guilty for existing. Do you ever get that feeling where if I'm not if I'm mainly working, if I'm not working on my book or making a video, I feel guilty.
Most of my time spent now has transitioned to either making things or talking in voice chats and playing games at the same time. One of the two.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I really watch videos now is while I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. I feel like my watch later, because of built-in stuff like my lunch break and things like that, it consistently remains in the 20s, I'd say. But some of those videos, which sucks, I really wanted to keep up with Nate's Nuzlocke, and I can't. He comes out with a 3-hour video, and I can't watch that. I can't. It took me. I am not done with the Tales Stretch Trolled lecture. It's been a week and a half that I've been watching a little bit of it each day. That's what I do. I take long videos and I watch a little bit of it each day.
There's a couple people who I try to keep up.
I can't finish this. Do you want this rest of this? It's too much.
I'm sorry. I can't. I can't even do this. This is lemonade.
Lemonade's so light. How could you it's the lightest thing. Unless it's a syrupy lemonade, is it? Yeah.
It's very sweet and sour and tangy.
Sounds like lemonade.
It is lemonade. Just show me the 5-sided cube.
Okay.
Joshua, that's all I want to see.
Yeah. I can't watch shows anymore.
I don't want to watch shows anymore.
There are so many shows that I want to watch that I just can't watch. You look. Zach says I don't want to watch shows anymore, and now he looks like he's crying. What's wrong, Zach? What's wrong? What's wrong?
I'm sad.
You don't like media anymore?
I'm sad about Ruby.
Ruby? Yeah, that random, but yeah, we could talk about that.
I'm sorry. It's like a good friend has slowly faded away.
See, I wouldn't even say like if you wrote out the plot in Wikipedia format, it doesn't sound like it would have gotten any worse. In fact, it sounds like it would have gotten better.
The plot is fine.
There's nothing wrong with the plot. The plot is actually great. The writing is like the dialogue is. It's not the writing of the story. It's the dialogue is become horrendous, and the fight choreography, dialogue and fight choreography have like derailed the show. Like everyone was shitting on me for liking Volume 4 better than Volume 5, but I will stand by that. That Volume 5 to me was the worst volume, hands down.
What they need to do is just like pause the show if they can't get people who are good enough to do the show.
Well, see,
what they need is they need me there. They need to hire me.
Okay, Zach, animate fights right now.
Huh?
Do it. Choreograph fights. You can't. You can't say that. You can't choreograph fights.
I will learn. I've learned to do it.
See, Monty literally his fight choreography was the core of his entire career up until before Ruby. Like he made fight choreography videos. That's essentially what he did. There has to be someone out there who's just doing it. Miles and Carrie are really good at writing story. They are really good at planning a story, but they are not good when it comes down to the nitty-gritty. Like, they are not good at writing dialogue, and they're not good at writing fights. And dialogue and fights are two of the biggest parts of Ruby.
The dialogue would be fine as long as someone looked at it before, like, as long as you watched the show back before it went live, and were like, oh, that sounds awful.
Well, like, they had to have watched episodes back. They obviously do.
There's so much stuff where you watch it and you're like, why would they say that?
I watched this analysis video of it, and there was one scene that they showed me that was really, really, it hit me that like something's wrong here. Like something's really wrong here. It was a scene where, okay, everyone's fighting in this big thing. Great arc, like great final arc of the season. Like everyone's like. It's this big climatic arc. Everyone's fighting this thing, and there's just some characters that are just standing there. Like, they're all in this big, like, circular room, and they're all different, like, fighting different people and everything. And they're just standing there. Like, Weiss got hit with the arrow. Okay, maybe that was for plot, but she should not have had the opportunity to even have gotten it. The way that scene played out is she would have had to have been standing still in one spot for, like, a good minute.
Which is...
doesn't make sense. No one in real life would do that in the middle of a big fight.
It's crazy that they go from... They start off the show as weird... It's like this weird-looking show that has real people doing real things, and suddenly gets, like, a weird art style change, and then suddenly they're all robots acting to hit points.
Okay, they went from real people that feel real to like real people like that feel like friends that you have, like to cookie cutter textbook characters.
But no, they're like in like Volume 5, they're like doing things to hit points in the fight, right? They'll like stop and talk, and like at the end they're like. She like came up with the artifact and just like standing there. No one's doing anything. Everyone's just looking at her, and then they run away.
The whole Hazel thing was so sloppy. It was just like,
they're standing there. They're not incapacitated. They're in full capacity.
Only character that has it.
They're like 20 feet away from it. She has taken it. She has brought it to them.
Did Emerald do the thing yet, where she like flipped out and like did that thing? Because that was a great scene. But did she do that yet, or was that after? Was that before or after?
I have no idea.
Okay. Okay. Raven versus Cinder, incredible. No, you can't admit that. Raven vs. Cinder was amazing.
That was great. Well, I'm no,
I have
no,
to
no,
say
no,
I'm
no,
impressed.
There was so many lines in that were so dumb.
Hey, guys.
There was no in the Raven vs. Cinder. It was like the like fight coordination was fine, but there was like a line.
I am.
Yeah, it's like I am. Everyone knew that. Everyone knew that as soon as the eyes.
As soon as the eyes thing, you don't have to say anything. You go
ruined the entire like season. The entire reveal was ruined by that line.
Hey, guys. I have to say, I'm impressed. So in episode 4, was it episode 4 of the volume? One of the 4 episodes of the volume. Raven, she says, I have to say I'm impressed. Like 4 times.
Oh, God. Oh.
And that's something that can easily be noticed when you're reading a script. You don't even need to make the episode
Control
yet.
F.
When you're editing a script and you see the same phrase uttered 4 times within like a couple of minutes, you have to take them out or reword them. That's how you edit a script. I don't understand. Like,
it's just uncanny. Like, I mean,
I still love Ruby, and it's still one of my favorite things that I care about the most.
I just wanted to turn around. Like,
I have faith. I have faith because
faith, sure.
I think they can do it. I think if they really try hard, they can do it. But I don't know. They have to realize they have to realize that something's wrong. They have to get, because everyone's saying how great they're doing. Everyone's saying how great they're doing, how the show's getting so much better because of the new animation and everything, how the show is better than it ever was, and how Volume 5 was the best volume. Because of this, they're not going to think they're doing anything wrong. If enough people come together and talk about what they could do better, then I think we'll really have some change.
I hope so. Like, everyone thinks this now, right?
No, the majority, like, there's a vocal minority where we hear like all these analysis videos. Like, a lot of the analysis people really are really fed up. There's people that have dropped the show.
I think it's people who like the people who like didn't watch the show before because they couldn't watch the animation.
Are loving it now, you're saying?
Yeah, because they didn't actually know it was any good ever.
I trade for Volume 1 animation any day.
Oh God, it looks so good. I miss it.
My biggest example is the ramen shop scene from Volume 3, Episode 1.
Oh.
You literally can't do that in the new animation. You can't. It's impossible. It's not something that's physically possible to do in the new animation style. Am I right?
Oh my God! It actually like physically hurts me to watch. Like,
but you know what? We can always say Volume 1 through 3 is a perfect little thing that's there that will always be one of my favorite things.
But it hurts that show, Volume 1 through 3, will never be finished, and we'll never know.
You know, there's a problem when there's been 2 seasons and it still feels like the last episode was Volume 3 finale.
Mm-hmm.
Even though a lot of Volume 4 was great. The whole Ren and Nora flashback, amazing. That's it. That's it. What else was good in Volume 4? The scene in Episode 2 when Jean was really sad and he was training, that was an incredible scene.
The end of the fight with Tyrion.
The fight with Tyrion was pretty great.
No, it wasn't.
Tyrion was great. Tyrion was a great entry.
Most of the fight sucked. The end was good.
They kind of ruined it in the last one, but all the villain characters they introduced were pretty great. I have to give them that. Like I liked all of them. Like, Watts is pretty great. Tyrion's pretty great. Hazel was great until they fucked her.
Hazel's the dumbest man alive.
Hazel in Volume 4 was so, like, cool. He was like, this is a really cool villain. You don't know why he's bad. He seems good. You don't know anything about him. And then he's, like, just dumb.
Yeah, it's like, hey, he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy.
And then he's just a dumb guy. That's his entire thing. He's just stupid.
He's just stupid.
Yeah. He just doesn't think right. It's like,
he's
clearly, what was this thing that his sister joined the academy and then died on a mission, and then he wanted to get revenge on Oz. Like,
Girl, I'm mad that my sister did something.
Naturally, you're gonna be mad and
and
irrational at your sister. It's like it's like if if a family member became a policeman and then died on duty, and it was like you blamed the head of the police force. That's essentially the equivalent. And
then you go to kill them.
Yeah.
And everyone related to them.
It makes no sense.
It's absurd.
But you know what? We were talking about this today. The show may be going downhill, but the music is better than ever.
Yes.
Every soundtrack album that comes out is like in my top 5 albums of that year. It's so good. Like I'm so excited for the Volume 5 soundtrack. It's coming out soon because Volume 4 came out last May. So it should be coming out soon. It should be coming out this month if everything's on schedule. So. And I'm really hyped for it because I listen to the soundtrack so much. Volume 4 soundtrack is my favorite Ruby soundtrack.
I think that is the one thing that will be consistently good.
Because they're independent. They don't have to rely on that.
And they will always...
But even the songs I've heard in the background of Volume 5, like the song from when Cinder and Raven were fighting, incredible. And I only heard a small segment of it. The credits song from Volume 5 finale, this from Shadows Part 2, incredible. That's the one thing. Well, I feel like
Part 2 or Part 3?
Part 2.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of
Mirror.
Yeah.
My thing is, to me, Real Ruby is Volumes 1 through 3 and all the soundtracks. That's Real Ruby to me.
Yeah.
And then the other element to it.
Yes. It will continue on.
Yeah.
In the heart of the fans.
Yeah.
6 Semper Tyrannis.
I was telling you this a little bit before, but then I figured out that I have a new thing that I consider to be perfect.
What?
And it was originally Sky High. I've switched it to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It is a perfect movie. You haven't seen it?
It was Sky High.
I alternate between the thing that I use as the example of something that is perfect. There is no flaws. And that Sky High was originally that for me. And then I've switched it to it's not that anymore. But I go through phases of what I consider.
How many things do you consider perfect?
2. Sky High and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Really?
No.
Nothing else?
I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but it's like that thing I go to where like this is perfect.
Like can you like name the things that I would?
Gurren Lagann's perfect.
Gurren Lagann is perfect. Gurren Lagann's too perfect. I don't like it. It's too good.
Gurren Lagann is my favorite piece of media.
Gurren Lagann's are way too good. I don't like talking about it because there's nothing to ever dislike about it.
Yeah, it's the best thing ever made.
It's too good.
Yeah.
It's essentially too good. I like things that are deeply flawed.
Yeah, but Copper City has a lot of problems.
I like things that should not be good, basically.
Yeah. Like Ruby originally was.
I like the things
Ruby now is how it should have been in the beginning. Like how you get what I'm saying? Like, you know how you like the show has no right to be this good?
Yeah.
This is what it had the right to be in the beginning.
Is how bad it should have been.
Yeah.
When it started. But it started out way better, and now it's caught up with itself.
What else is perfect?
Here are the things I consider to be great.
Let's hear it. Well, perfect. Are you saying perfect or great?
I don't like things that are perfect.
Okay.
A lot of things are perfect. Gurren Lagann is perfect. Gurren Lagann is perfect. It's a great show. It's too good. It is... Bless you.
Thank you.
It's uninteresting, right?
It is the most interesting thing.
No, because it's like literally the perfect story, right?
It is. We have very different opinions. We both say it's perfect, but we have very different opinions of it. Because to me, it is my favorite thing ever. I connect with it more than any other piece of media.
How can you watch something that you consider to be like the perfect story?
I can explain it to you. Because not only is it a perfect piece of media for anyone that watches it, I connected with it on a personal level that goes beyond the perfect. I connected with the main character on a personal level because the main character, when I'm looking at early Simone, I see literally me, And then when it grows, I see how I've grown, and that's how I connect with it personally. And I also want to
That's-
fuck Mia.
That is why it's perfect. It's perfect on a bunch of levels. Now, I think it's incredible.
That's why
It's
perfect.
so incredible. But something that is perfect to me is something that is like should not be good. Now, I'm describing something as perfect on a personal level. Something that impacts me.
Cosplayer saga.
Huh? Something that is so dumb. Something conceptually that is dumb. That executes itself in such a
Let's hear
perfect
it.
way
You're building it.
that it is so good. I'm gonna list off like at least 5 things.
Gamer Wars, I'm guessing.
Huh?
Gamer Wars.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Wii U.
yeah. Gamer Wars Saga
Okay.
about console. It's just the thing about console wars, which ends up in this grand. Like
This
half
house
an
has
hour
people in
long
it. I put on
edited.
there.
This house has people in it. It's very good. I don't know if I describe it as the greatest thing ever.
It's one of
Or
the
the perfect thing. Friendship is witchcraft.
That's pretty great.
Impeccably written.
Smash Bros.
Like it's
I'm getting ahead of
yeah.
you.
It began posing as an abridged series and quickly within the first episode was better written than the entirety of the show, and it began referencing things that the show hadn't even come out with yet, and then again tied itself all back in together.
And then you have Jenny, who has like one of my favorite YouTube channels that's currently going right now.
Jenny and Griffin.
She has like a perfect dry humor, like just like
Really
saying something like just saying something completely nonchalant that's hilarious.
Yeah. The Smash Bros. A parody of the Smash Brothers documentary, which ends up with a million timelines and like incomprehensible unless
It's the
you,
Makaku City.
Unless you study it.
It's essentially imagine if they did Makaku City via a parody of a shitty documentary, like.
Yeah. I compare it to a couple other things more than that, but yes.
Like what? What do you?
Like Inception.
Well, I haven't seen Inception.
It's literally based on
So
Inception.
Inception's this thing where it's like this thing that it's too late for me with Inception.
Just
Like,
watch it. It's a good. It's a pretty good movie.
I know what you're like. The concept alone, I know it will be like one of my favorite things. It's like you know what I mean? Like it's like conceptually, this sounds like a perfect thing for me, and I love everything else that imitates it. I haven't seen the thing.
Mm-hmm. And Cargo Project, a like series of songs that are loosely strung together to become the greatest narrative ever told. Of which anyone at any point in their life can find something to relate to.
Yeah, I don't think we're even talking about perfect things here. We're just about like favorite things.
I'm talking about perfect to me.
Yeah.
Like these are the things that to me I would consider perfect.
I can go give you some. I can give you something.
Sure.
There. I'd say, the Beatles music saga, like the entire Beatles music narrative, like the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not every song, obviously, because a lot of their stuff is like the early stuff shit. But like the whole Beatles narrative is perfect. I'm gonna wait till people pass. Okay, whole Beatles narrative, perfect. I'd say the A Song of Ice and Fire book series, perfect. Gurren Lagann, obviously we talked about that. That's already been said. What else? Probably Ruby's volumes 1 to 3 and the soundtracks. I put that in there. And then the cosplayers, like 64 cosplayer series. Super bad. I'm just like listing off my favorite like pieces of media. Yeah, but they're perfect. Superbad's perfect. Superbad is perfect. That's something that is perfect as zero flaws. It is perfect movie.
It's like a movie.
It all comes together. It is the best comedy ever written.
It is. It's really
Oh no! Should we get in the car?
No. Let's just wait for it to pass. I don't have,
Yeah.
I don't have to be
Superbad, perfect. looking for Lasso by John Green. I haven't read it in a couple
you
of
want to
years.
name like perfect things in each genre?
Let's do it. Okay, go.
For the time spent, this house has people in it. Perfect horror film. 11 minutes long, nothing else really compares.
This house that you want. It is an 11. Well, I would throw the Night Mind analysis in there and the supplementary videos in there too.
Okay.
So it's like a couple hours experience, but the core short film is 11 minutes long. It is not only my favorite horror movie of all time by William City Comic, by the way. Go watch it. It is one of my favorite movies of all time and favorite pieces of media of all time. It's in my like top 20 media.
I feel like I don't know if this is what I'm thinking of, but I feel like some like episode has, I don't know if they're going to be able to hear us over the rain, but like I think I'm thinking of Kisniver has the perfect romance story buried like 7 episodes deep, where it's like this is the perfect story ever told.
Lesbian rules?
Yeah,
that was. Remember when I was halfway through Kisniver and I was telling you how this is going to be the best show, and then they fucking jumped the shark so badly.
Yeah, it's awful. but like partway through, they cut away to the story, and it is the greatest story ever told. It
was like the two girls that were like Monica's together. Or whatever.
Yeah,
it was so good.
And they like, to
me, the show ended when they were all on the beach like crying. That was the show. Well, when they were all on the beach, that was an incredible scene. It was so good when they were all on the beach. Like what did they sell? There were fireworks. Were there fireworks? I don't even remember.
No, they went into the water.
They all went into the water. Yeah, that is, to me, end of show. Everything after that is garbage.
Yeah.
What happened at the end of that show? Like what did she get on a bridge and then they talked to her and that was it?
It was awful.
What was that?
It was
What
not.
happened?
It doesn't matter. It wasn't good.
What happened?
So Gurren Lagann has a lot of perfect things about it, but I think I have a very strong opinion about the perfect ending, and like the perfect story arc and the perfect ending. Gurren Lagann has it. The perfect story is like has a sense of scale, whether it be like emotional or real, where you build up and up and up, and gain more and more and more, and then at the end, it sort of all comes crumbling down until it's just you and the bad face to face.
So good.
Good. What do you do? End it.
Yeah. The progression of Gurren Lagann, it is how I describe it. It is the entire plot is the plot, and it's also a metaphor for the character development in its own show. The plot is a metaphor for its character development. It's all a metaphor for itself. It's a spiral.
It's actually.
So essentially, you have this kid, miserable, like pathetic, bullied kid living in this small, tiny, cramped underground village. It starts with that, and it ends with him as the biggest entity in the universe fighting another biggest entity, just throwing galaxies at each other.
No, but it doesn't. It doesn't end like that.
No. It ends with him as a small man wandering the earth, helping people.
No, but it doesn't. The climax isn't even that. Isn't it just like, it's just him, right? It's just him and the spiral guy, right? He has to like totally leave the ship, right?
I think when he was fighting, wasn't it all of them in one ship?
They throw the whole thing. And they throw everything they have.
Yeah.
And then it just ends up, it's just him and the spiral guy.
Yeah.
And it's just them. And it's like, what now?
And then the show ends.
I feel like I could write a story progression that's just very slightly better. But the rest of the show, there's no way I could do it.
I could not even begin to get anything close to Gurren Lagann.
I have like in my mind the perfect ending, but nothing else. I have no other part of the story.
A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm going to tell you this. Very different, but also equally as good. It is telling, essentially what he's doing is taking the point in the history of a world where everything changes, and he's telling it from the perspective of just a couple of random people, point of views on the planet that just happen to be there. Like,
that's great.
Are they gonna be able to hear us over this?
Probably, as long as you talk loud, probably.
Yeah, so he essentially, what we're getting at is this is the shift in this planet of the course of their history shifting. And it's not the first shift, and it probably won't be the last. But what we get is and we see it from the real-time perspective of all these characters. So it's like, it's not like, oh, this just happened and everything's changed. It's years of these people's lives, like, written down, and it's just like what they're experiencing. Like, a character, and everything is interconnected. You can make like a web. I want to do this one day. Make a web of how everything is. It's impossible because there is not a character that isn't somehow. It's like degrees of separation where everything is connected.
I'm sure someone's done this before.
Yeah.
And that would be really cool to like crowdsource it and have everyone like draw the connections.
There is not a single character in this entire series that isn't somehow connected to the other, and it's just
You know the like spiral thing that you said, where it's like the entire show is a spiral?
Yeah.
And I feel like they did the same thing as Gurren Lagann, just as good with Kill la Kill. They made the same show again, but with totally new characters that are just as likable.
Kill la Kill, to me, Gurren Lagann, I say they're equally as good, but I like Gurren Lagann more personally.
The only thing that's different is like, it's different characters. It's like mostly girls. It's just like a different audience for people who haven't watched Gurren Lagann. Except it's the same show. I watched Kill la Kill first. It's the same show with a different plot. And it'll just appeal to different people.
Kill la Kill was like the third anime I ever watched.
But it's the same like premise. It's the same thing where like it's like stuff gets bigger and bigger in scale.
Yeah.
Until it all comes crashing down. Everything's about clothes, and like the enemies keep getting bigger and bigger. Right? It's the same thing. Right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's this.
What? It's not though. It's different. It has its own identity. It's like
it does.
It's not like you're watching the same show again. It feels different.
It feels different. You're right.
But it's, to me, they're equally as good, but I prefer Gurren Lagann. Usually one prefer the other, but like they're both equally as good to me.
They're both very good. But I feel like they were able to do it again, and they could in theory make a show that is.
They're going to do all the same people again. Chromare. It's coming out. I don't know when. But have you seen the picture for it? It's just Kamina. It's just a guy with spiky blue hair, sunglasses, and a big sword.
Rest in peace, my man.
But yeah, that.
I feel like, I don't know, that's like the same thing as Kagura Project, sort of, where like everything ties back into that central theme of like. Oh,
and I also now I'm going back to the Song of Ice and Fire, where it's an ogre. It has layers.
Of course it has layers.
So essentially, it's this. There's all this deep shit that's going on in the deep background of everything that you only get like, because you're so limited in terms of your POV. You see like little glimpses of it, like one character that has nothing to do with any of the fantastical stuff in the series comes across like ends up running into this little like old woman who says something like these like who tells her these prophecies, and it's just like, no, I don't know what the fuck this means. What is this woman doing? And it's like it's amazing because it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's there's this huge gray area of it, and there's like these just shitty humans doing like shitty things and not realizing that there's a huge thing. Like, it's like, imagine if this Lovecraftian giant thing was happening in the background, and you're just having a war over who owns this field of territory. Like, it's incredible. Like, yeah, it's so good. It's so good, and it's like you could watch Game of Thrones and get none of the big background stuff, and it's the most important. Like one of the like. I mean, you get the White Walkers.
Is it weird that they're telling you the story of a bigger story through a show, through like the television show?
Yeah. It's interesting because two people can consume. Well, the books you have to get some of the bigger background because you're sitting there reading it and you get like more invested. But like two people can watch the same exact piece of media and get the same story and get two completely different stories. Like someone can watch all of Game of Thrones, ignore all the fantasy stuff, and just watch the political stuff and still enjoy it. Like my parents and everything like that. Like, and then it's like, and then someone can watch it and like be like thinking about all this deep history and deep background. Like there's entire like countries in this world that I know the entire history of that a show watcher would never heard of.
I'm bored.
And you can go. It's this one man wrote the entire history of an entire world. Imagine sitting down and writing like the history textbook, the world history textbook you used in your world history class for a thing that doesn't exist. That's what he did. It's crazy.
God.
Like there's all these different interconnected countries, and it's like he talks about how they first get contact, how they develop trade, and it's insane, and how cultures evolved into different cultures and everything like that. Like there was this world's equivalent of the Roman Empire, and it collapsed, and then all these different countries came up in the medieval time. He just created all this stuff.
He's very smart.
He's George R. R. Martin.
He's George R. R. Martin.
I have to pee so bad, so can we take a pause?
No.
Okay, you'll keep going?
Yeah, we can.
No, you can keep going if you want.
I just got over it.
Are we? I think we're back.
Oh, wait, are we back?
Yeah, I think I just clicked play.
Yeah, alright, welcome back.
I think I was thinking about the background. Perfect way to describe a song of ice and fire to people is there's a guy, he's just like an washed up alcoholic that he just happens to get visions. He doesn't understand why he happens to get visions. It happens to have the ability to bring back certain people from the dead. He doesn't know why he has this. He has no idea. He has no reason to know. How would he know why he has this ability? But there's this giant, like, Lovecraftian thing going on in the background that happens to have an effect on him, and he just doesn't know. And there's no, like, any other series would make it like, oh, I know I'm the chosen one. No, there's just a random minor character in the series that just happens to be able to do it. It's like a guy in the world that just happens to be able to. He doesn't have a POV character, he just happens to show up in the background of something.
What I love about Kagura Project is it's like this. It's like a man has built a world, but he hasn't built a world. He's built 10 real people that have grown up and have gotten superpowers. Have had their lives ruined by that.
Yeah.
And has within 10 people created something that is within 10 people and 2 albums has created something that is relatable to every situation ever. It's this just like some random neat man who just like wrote some songs, somehow had this in his mind and was like I'm gonna put these characters out. And all right, I did it. Yeah, they're all real people. They all have these whole lives.
I think the best thing about this is this Kagura Project is a story that managed to be the biggest scale and smallest scale story at the same time. Like, you have this thing that's threatening the entire lives, this entire like horrible conflict that's studying the entire lives of people doesn't affect anyone else in the entire world. Like, the snake's not going to kill everyone in the world. It's not going to happen. It doesn't affect anyone else.
Yeah.
Except for these 10 kids. And it's like...
Well, it was never world threatening. It was threatening their friends.
Yeah.
That was the most important thing.
Like, I think that's a genius. That it's like there's nothing at stake here for anyone else in the entire 7 billion on Pile Island.
No,
but these people. It's not like, oh, 10 kids have to come together to save the world. 10 kids have to come together to save their own asses. Like, that's it.
Yeah, there's this whole thing about it's it's a summer day, like I'm squinting, I can't open my eyes, I can't see any of the people around me. They're all like these blurry figures. I'm only opening my eyes to my friends, right? No one really cares about any of the like other randos around them. They're not important ever. Almost no. It's like
there's no other characters. You know what I mean? There are, but like any of them are just people that say one line to serve the rest forward the plot. Like there's no other
those
characters.
aren't characters. Those are just like set pieces, really.
Yeah. Okay, the teddy. That's why they do that. Where there's no
Yeah.
guy there. It's just a teddy bear and a
Shaft is genius because
Yeah.
they literally don't even have characters.
We should probably watch Baka with a guitar.
It's a recording device. It's not even a person. It may as well be a recording device.
Because it doesn't matter.
No one even like bothered to look at his face. The rest of the people in the class, they're just radios.
You know what it reminds me of a lot. And I said, remember when I first watched Stranger Things, and I said, this is the closest an American like mainstream show is going to get to Atlantic City, where it's just it's a group of friends, two teenagers, one cop working alone, and a mom. And they're all figuring out the same thing, different components of the same thing separately, not knowing these other people are doing it at the same time, like different parts of it. And when they all come together, then they are able to put it all together.
It's sort of similar, but do you like know the childhood? Did you know like how everyone? Did you know like how everyone grew up? How
No,
their lives
you
were
don't.
going?
But what's really cool about it is that the entire conflict each season is solved without anyone but these people knowing about the conflict existence. Like, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. You know,
I've seen Stranger Things.
I've seen Stranger Things. I like sat down and like cried over one of the characters. Like, I was just so sad for him. I was like,
What are things that you sit there on the train and think, I'm close to tears right now because of how good this is?
not because of how. I mean, it was great. I just sat down and I watched. I just like watched the song a couple times and I was like,
Which song is this?
It was Yobanashi to See. And I was
So
like,
good.
It was on his birthday, so it was like
I'm so
2
sweaty.
days
It's
ago.
so hot out at night.
It's so like.
I
humid,
walked out of
too.
the airport yesterday. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I walked out of the airport and like,
It's awful.
it's like oppressive.
Yeah, I'm a little used to it now. But I was so sad for this man. Like,
His life's fucked.
huh? You
You
can
can completely out of his control.
Huh?
His life is fucked. Because of the
his life is you know, he just wants to be. He could have been a normal kid.
They all could have been normal kids,
Huh?
but no.
He could have been a normal kid. He gets a superpower, what everyone would have described as superpower, the ability to look like anything you'd want, and he describes it as a monster ate my cart.
You want to hear something that's gonna? You want to hear something that's gonna fuck you up? If on TV, like for like Netflix, like they were forced up to the genre, this would go under superheroes. The comic strip.
I would be fine with that. If people watch this, they're like, yeah, superheroes, and then you watch it and you watch how it just like ruins the lives of the people involved, it would be great. Someone gets the power to read minds and it just destroys him.
Yeah, it's like
He tries to kill himself.
I made a great right after I saw, I think it was right after I saw Infinity War, I was like, as much as I am a huge fan of Marvel and all the mainstream superheroes, I love that stuff. But to me, my favorite people with power story will always be Kagura Project, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Huh?
It's crazy how this small story where only 10 people are fighting, like Infinity War. I love it. 10 out of 10.
Because
The
it's just-
entire fate of the universe is at stake.
Because there's not that much at stake. It's just kids. It's just
If
like,
these kids get hooked, nothing happens to anyone else in the world.
but you don't want them to.
Because you think they're so good at developing them, making them real people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god! And this is 12 episodes. A 12-episode show, 22-minute episodes.
Even the album, like within the course of a song, you know you feel bad for this. You feel bad for these people.
Ruby Volume 5. That's my new stealing bits bit, where I'm stealing Munchie's thing, where he goes really close and says something that like proves the whole point, if that makes sense.
Like, what's the new album coming?
Ruby? What's wrong? Kagura Project?
Yeah.
Is it not done?
No, it's coming.
Oh shit! There's a new album coming?
Yeah.
What?
They released a song from it. Someone
Oh,
launched
was
it.
that the Keto song?
Keto one.
That was good. I liked
It
it.
was great.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, dude, a monster ate my heart. And ever since then, I've been lying every day. I can do nothing but lie. Lie, lie, lie. That's all I do.
Should we move to the car?
If you want. It stop raining?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, sure. Where are we going?
Is there a line? Let's get some iced tea to go.
I don't want any. I'm gonna be up all night. If I have that.
Does the Diet Green tea have like caffeine? Oh, then I'm not gonna have it.
Well, actually, I don't know if green tea has caffeine.
Well, you wanna go look?
Do you want them?
No.
Maybe let's go. We gonna go all night.
Don't slip. I've been really bad with door etiquette tonight.
Door etiquette, baby.
You know what I realized? I realized this talking about the bathroom. You know what? There was that shake was probably 500 calories because it was the small size and not the large.
No. I think large one was 1,500.
Oh my god.
You want some boxed water?
Boxed water?
Boxed water.
Can you hold this?
Yeah.
I'm so lazy. I'm like, I don't want to hold up my phone. What do you think I am?
That guy looks like an operator. Oh wait, no, this is gonna get audio swapped. I forgot. Oh, don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. Shut the fuck
You know what I
up,
realized? I've
liberal.
never had original green tea.
What?
I only had diet.
It probably tastes the same. Shut the fuck up, liberal Tayo Cruz. Get out of here. Yeah, it's probably just sugar instead of aspartame.
So, does this have cow? I don't think so, right?
Does it say on the front?
Doesn't say anything.
I mean,
But
tea
it's not
just
in the
has it
ingredient.
normally.
Yeah, I don't think
They don't add it. They don't add it extra.
So, I'm like thirsty though.
I mean, you'll be fine.
I don't want to get another one.
Do the tall boy challenge. Tall boy challenge.
There's no way I'm drinking.
We should create the tall boy challenge.
You'll like see my heart like in the cartoons where it comes out. It's like boom, boom, boom.
Before you go to sleep, you drink Red Bull
Do
Tall
that
Boy.
and then go back to that hospital and ask them if I can leave. Just a full circle.
Sir, your heart rate is 400.
They told me my heart rate is abnormally high. They're like, it's exorbitantly high. And I'm like, what?
Probably because you're super dehydrated.
Yeah, because I'm sick as fuck. They wouldn't let me leave because,
You
not
get
because I was
probiotics.
dying, because of my heart rate. That's why they wouldn't let me leave. Because they said they couldn't consciously let me leave if my heart was at
In
that
good
rate.
conscience.
Yeah.
What are you getting?
I don't know. I'm thirsty, but what are we gonna do anyway for now?
I don't
Are we just gonna go home and call it a night? I don't feel done yet.
I'm not done either. I don't know what to do.
I would say let's go back to your house and watch stuff. but I don't
Dave
think
Malta.
it's that late.
Josh saved Malta.
No, I'll do everything. That'll be such a funny time.
I'll buy it.
Oh no. Oh no. Do it.
What are you getting?
I gotta get something, you're right. I gotta get something to wash it down. Like, if I had that and no water. Yeah, I'll get
that.
water.
Get that.
No, it's gonna give me caffeine. Are
I
you
don't think-
okay?
I don't think green tea has caffeine.
Are you sure?
I am not sure.
I can Google this, you know. Well, no, I can't. Because of the podcast. I found a half-drinking Wawa fruit punch in my fridge that's been there since before I moved.
Oh.
Because I drank half of it when I was sick and didn't finish it.
Just get. I don't know. Get something.
I'll get this, yeah.
What you got? So let's go. Bay Paradise. Put up a parking lot.
Oh, wait. I just wanted to go check. There's nothing I can do.
Malt beverage. Josh, you excited for the Malta challenge?
Oh, no.
There's no way it can be that bad.
It's just Malta. What's the worst that can happen? It was a chill. Don't judge me.
Okay. Are you gonna die? Are you okay?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't feel so good. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Do you see the Carl one?
Which one?
The Carl video between you trying
Yeah, that one's good. It's like the only good one.
There's a lot of good ones.
No.
You retweet like a million. You retweet more than I do of these memes.
I haven't retweeted any of them.
Maybe you liked them and they just showed up on my feed.
Maybe.
Like, I've seen more from you than I have from any other source. You're like staring, reevaluating your life.
I'm just reevaluating how many of my likes show up on people's Twitters.
I think I think it depends on the because we like so much of each other's tweets. Like, half of my feed is your likes.
It's so much.
Like, how did they think that's a good idea?
I don't know.
They need one less option.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
The more self-checkouts they make, the more people lose their jobs. What? I said the more self-checkouts they make, the more people lose their jobs, which you don't really want.
I guess.
They're good. No, they're not vanilla chocolate. They're caramel, right? Caramel and vanilla.
Oh.
What? What do you want me to say? Hold. Oh.
They're not bad though.
I'm a selfish fuck.
Have a great day. Take care.
Go for it.
Hello.
And my extra show the girl.
Alright, so your total is 137.
But I think you need something else.
Have a good day.
Alright, thank you too.
Alright.
Is that it?
They got these drugs for now and later.
Your total is 115, huh?
Should be exact.
Thank you. Have a good
Thanks.
day.
You
Take
too.
care.
Oh boy. It's good. Should we go in the car for that?
You gonna throw up?
I don't know. Are we still live?
I think so.
No. It's not. How long have we been going?
Where are we going?
Doesn't say. I can't see it from here. Oh, my storage space is almost full, so.
Alright, well, I guess this is the
Do
end.
you want any closing remarks? Anything? This was a great podcast.
This was
We
a
had,
great
so many,
podcast.
like evolutions over
Yeah.
time.
Thank you
Uh,
for tuning in.
Now tune back in 5 months from now when we do the next podcast.
No, we will be back here in a week or two, maybe.
Yeah, we'll try to do topics here and there. Okay.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.